Hello students, today we'll get started with the lesson 1 in history, the advent of the Europeans. In the beginning of 18th and 19th century, many foreign travelers, traders, missionaries is someone who preached Christianity, and civil servants like tax collectors, governors came to India from different parts of the world. These people left accounts of their impressions and experiences of various parts of our country. They left behind scrolls, they left behind scriptures, they built so many historical monuments in India. So, in this lesson, we will get to know about the evolution of modern India, that is, how did India develop from ancient India into a modern India. Events happened and the invasions took to India, and also about the abundant sources, the large amount of sources of these events which record the development of modern India. Sources of modern India. The sources for the history of modern India helps us to know the political, socio-economic and cultural developments in the country. From the very beginning, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, the Danes and the English recorded their official transactions in India on state papers. What are called state papers? State paper is a document or file kept by a government to record discussions, opinions and discussions made by government officials. So these Portuguese, the Dutch, French, the Danes and the English recorded all their happenings, all their government transactions into state papers. Well-preserved records are very valuable to know about the relationships in India. The archives at Lisbon, Goa, Pondicherry and Madras were literally storehouses of precious historical information. What are called archives? Archives are a place where you store historical information. தமிழ்ல அது காப்பகங்கள் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. All these sources must however be critically evaluated before they are used to historical writing. In this picture, we can see the important historical archives in Goa, Pondicherry and in Lisbon. What were all the kinds of sources? நம்ம sources சொல்றோமே அது என்ன kinds அது என்ன எப்படின்னா there are two types of sources. First one is written sources and second one is material sources. Written sources. After the advent of the printing press, numerous books were published in different languages. Adventna வருகை அப்படின்னு தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவாங்க. So after the invention of printing press in India, after the establishment of printing presses in India, numerous books were published in different languages. Hence, people began to acquire knowledge easily in the fields like art, literature, history, and science. The Europeans came to know about the immense wealth of India from the accounts of Marco Polo and similar sources. Due to the records written by Marco Polo, Europeans were attracted to India, and the wealth of the India attracted European to this country. So by the wealth of our country, Europeans came into our country. Anandurangam is named to conjure with the annals of Tamil history. He was one important person in Tamil history. He was a Dubash translator in Pondicherry to assist French trade in India. During the French government in India, he was the translator in Pondicherry. His diaries contain the daily events from 1736 to 1760, which are the only written secular record during the period. During that period, during 1736 to 1760, the only record which we have is his diary. His diaries reveal his profound capacity for political judgment and is the most valuable source of history. There are like different sources actually. There are so many different written sources like literature, travel accounts, diaries, autobiographies, pamphlets, government documents and manuscripts. Archives. Archives are the place where historical documents are preserved. The National Archives of India, NAI, is located in New Delhi. The main archive of India is NAI and it is located in New Delhi. It is the chief storehouse of the records of Government of India. It has main source of information for understanding past administrative machinery as well as a guide to present and future generation related to all matters. It contains authentic evidence for knowing the political, socio-economic, cultural and scientific life and activities of people of India. It contains all kinds of evidence in them. It is one of the largest archives in Asia. In the Asian continent, the NAI is one of the largest archives. Tamil Nadu Archives. In India, Tamil Nadu occupies a unique place in archives administration. By 1801, the whole of the area, which later became the Madras Presidency, had come into the hands of East India Company, and the second half of the 18th century itself witnessed a manifold increase of government records. After the 18th century, there was a huge increase in all of those government records. The sprint in the accumulation of the records compelled the government to evolve orderly measures for this custody and preservation. So due to this increase in a large amount of government records, the government took an initiative to form an archive in Tamil Nadu. The head of the Madras Record Office was designated as the curator. The head of the Madras Record Office during that period was curators. These curators who served Madras Record Office has become eminent scholars and historians. They were all very big scholars and historians. After independence, it became a separate department, and the head of the department has been designated as commissioner, special commissioner, triple commissioner. So after independence, they were all the designated heads of Madras Record Office. The head of the department is assisted by the deputy commissioner, assistant commissioners, and other officials. The Tamil Nadu Archives has district record centers and Tiruchi, Tanjavur, Salem, Coimbatore, Madurai, and Kodulur, headed by research officers. So the main Tamil Nadu Archives has different sub offices, record centers at Tiruchi, Tanjavur, Salem, Coimbatore, Madurai, and Kadalur. Tamil Nadu Archives has 1642 volumes of Dutch records which relate to the Cochin and Coromandel coast. So there are 1642 volumes of Dutch records in Tamil Nadu Archives. These records cover the period from 1657 to 1845. The Danian records cover the period from 1777 to 1845. Dodwell prepared with great effort, and the first issue of the Calendar of Madras Records was published in 1917. So Dodwell is the one who prepared the Calendar of Madras, and it was published in the year 1917. He was highly interested in encouraging historical research. He opened a new chapter of history of Tamil Nadu Archives. He is the one who invented a new chapter, who created a new history in history of Tamil Nadu Archives. The second type of sources is immaterial sources. Many paintings and statues are the main sources of modern India history. They give us a lot of information and the achievement of national leaders and historical personalities. They say so much about national leaders and historical personalities. Historical buildings like St. George Francis Church at Cochin, St. Louis Fort at Pondicherry, St. George Fort in Madras, St. David Fort in Kadalur, India Gate, Parliament House, President House in New Delhi, etc. The different styles and techniques of Indian culture. You can see all these things in the pictures below. India Gate, Parliament House, St. George Fort, St. David Fort, and all. Other objects and materials of religious, cultural, and historical value are collected and preserved in the museums. This museum helps us to preserve and promote a cultural heritage. The National Museum in Delhi is the largest museum in India, which was established in 1949. The largest museum of India is the National Museum in Delhi, and it was created in the year 1949. As historical buildings, scrolls, scriptures, coins also played a biggest role in the records of modern India. Coins are a good source to know about administrative history. The first coinage in modern India under the crown was issued in 1862. The first coinage in India was issued in 1862. Edward VII ascended after Queen Victoria, and the coins issued by him bore his model. After Queen Victoria, Edward VII issued coins which has his face imprinted on them. The Reserve Bank of India was formally set up in 1935 and was empowered to issue Government of India notes. In 1935, Reserve Bank of India was formed, and it was the first time when our country itself issued its own currency. The first paper currency issued by RBI in January 1938 was a 5 rupee note bearing the portrait of King George IV. So the first paper currency of India was a 5 rupee note, and it was issued on the year 1938, which had the portrait of King George VI. So that's all for today's lesson. Stay tuned for the further videos on this chapter. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe.